In this example, we're going to look at the motion blur options we have available in Scanline Render. So we have this scene where we have this geometry that is animated on cards in the 3D space. Not only that, they're also deformed. And alongside of that, we have a light as well as a camera. And this camera has animation on it as well. So let's look at the Scanline Render. So we have our render in place, and if we select the Scanline Render under the Motion Blur options, we can see all the different controls that we have. Now this particular scene has all of the above, so we were going to first turn on the camera transform for the movement of the camera, or the camera X form. So once we do that, we can see that we now have the Motion Blur enabled for the camera X form. So we turn it off, we turn it on, and we get that slight blur. And then we also have the camera lens. So when we turn on the camera lens, we'll get a much more pronounced effect as the camera is moving around. And then we also have the object X form. So when we turn that on, because those objects are rotating like crazy, we can see that we have the motion blur for that. And remember, they're also being deformed. So if we turn on the object deform, we'll now turning on the deform motion blur, as well as the lights. So we have that control, and this can be very handy if you're trying to match something in Nuke's 3D space to a plate where not all of these are on, not all of them are off, and you have a combination. You can find that combination to match exactly that motion blur that is in the plate. So at this point, we can now just clean up our sampling and get a nice clean render of our motion blur.